You're tuning in to Gone.net.
Welcome back to another Gone.net, where we are doing .net things, waiting for AI to do its thing. Let's face it, we're not doing the things. We're just telling AI how to do it.
I'm still in there occasionally with some of the stuff. I don't mind still being a little bit wiggly in the code. It's certainly not the well-lived dream of, I told it to do something and it went and solved world peace.
It's not.
I'm actually feeling pretty good about our future as engineers at this point. It's shifting. We're going to use AI probably quite a bit, but I think, you and I have both experienced the past at least 2 weeks. Claude has been down probably like friggin' 24 times, sometimes hours on end. And it's like stupid errors like authentication failure, whatever.
Well, and sometimes like it makes you, I don't know. I had a few times where I'm like, did you just like lose my session? like come on, please no.
And it forgets frequently, and it still produces a lot of bugs, right? Like it's not foolproof, but it's like a junior dev that works really fast.
Yeah, like I still find often if I look at some of the changes, I'll be like, can we like do it this way instead? Or like, what if you considered this, right? Like I was working on one of the things I'll show a little bit in a minute, and it just like it brought in this whole like GitHub custom action to do like NuGet authentication for GitHub package feeds, and I'm like, surely that's not required, right? Like there's a better way. And it took a bit of like pointing it at the right thing, and then it got there.
This is the thing, but
So yeah, junior dev, it's like, yeah, no, I see why you might think to do that, but it's not really correct.
So it's a good time to be a dev. I'm enjoying it more than ever.
It's still super productive.
We have this AI thing. It's like sniffing crack. You just you go nuts for it.
Well, it's the limiting factor is not how fast I can type code and how correctly I can get my ideas into code now, right? So I think that's the exciting part.
Yes. Yep. And it's fun. Like you just code up everything you want, everything you've ever needed, any projects that you've had side loaded, you're blasting away.
Yeah.
So glorious times.
However, it's also been slower sometimes lately, right? So as we learned last week, we probably want to change things up a bit. So we're going to try a little bit different of a route this week, right?
We're going to go into our other app and let it kind of what's the cool kid term? Let it cook.
Yeah,
let it cook while we're doing stuff. Yeah. As it is, I got this damn thing going anyways last week, but let's see. Oh, before we get going though, this is a glorious week for two reasons. One is, did you hear about the iPhone Ultra? My foldable phone,
the foldable one,
is coming. It is coming, John.
That's what they say.
Don't jinx it.
I'm just it probably will. It probably will.
Yeah. It just otherwise I'll tell you what I'm drinking so that you get really mad at me. So don't jinx it.
The problem, like I don't know if you saw that there was the Apple story about like their earnings call. I think they basically said, yeah, we are constrained by memory availability in some of their product lines, right? Like it's not going to let up that soon. And that's Apple, who's probably like one of the best at maintaining their supply chain and everything. So
I guess we'll see what happens. They were supposed to, they always say we're going to get cheaper and stuff, and then they keep getting more expensive. Remember we were talking about the M2 the other day.
Mm-hmm.
How everything was supposed to get cheaper. And it did for the first year. And now the M's are like way more expensive than standard.
And I think, I mean, the whole AI thing, memory is just, we're in a bad spot for a bit yet.
Well, yeah, it might pop. So I have our Droid app launched. I even have, you can't see it, but I set up a table behind me this week.
Yeah.
The Droid is hiding behind me, so I can turn him on, and he will actually do stuff now. So I'm going to share my screen.
And we had last week, we left at It was connecting, right? It was doing stuff.
Well, yes, it was connecting, but the AI wasn't doing anything with it. So I fixed that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get this stupid guy up and running.
Still didn't fix that text label send.
No, that I don't care about. That's details, John. That's
I
detail.
know, it just bugs me.
I know, but see, this is things that don't bother me. And hopefully she's going to get scanning. Come on, you stupid thing. You were working last week. I tested you this week. So I know damn well you work.
Oh,
there he is.
Oh, there you go.
It just took a while to get going. All right. Stupid droid.
You're going to make it drive itself off the table.
There we go. So, oh my gosh. Okay. So I got to connect to, I made this so that I can connect to GitHub Copilot.
Okay. So
that I don't have to worry about keys.
Yeah. Except for the one time, the two-factor authentication for it.
Yeah, it didn't last though, because I tested this earlier in the week, so it only lasts like 2 or 3 days what I have.
Yeah.
There we go. So you can hear him yelling at me in the back. Don't know if you can see him, but we'll see in a minute.
Not really, but I mean, let's definitely hear.
Let's get him up here. Come on, bud.
All right.
There he is. He's there. So on our screen, he's all connected. Say hello. It's going to go off. There he is. Do you hear him in the background?
Yeah, beep beep.
Do a dance. Let's see if he does a dance and doesn't fall off the table.
Yeah, so you're going to be buying a new droid soon.
And he kind of did a dance.
Yeah, I mean,
but there we go.
It was a twirl.
It was a twirl. It wasn't bad. He went forward. He went backwards. He didn't fall off the table. So that's a win. So let's see what we got. So last week, this is the chat. So we got through this. And we have the droid. So this creates our tool, which let's see our AI tool.
Mm-hmm.
So we gave off the functions. Now this is a pretty function heavy. I don't really like the way it did this. It's really, 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 really heavy. It's not really, I guess this is kind of AOT friendly when I look at it. Sometimes there's a lot of reflection in this junk that makes it a little bit slower, which we're going to get to. Show and tell is a little bit delayed. But even like the turn left, drive backwards, I'd probably turn this into more of an enum so that we can have like one function for direction and then one function for, I don't know, the head, because that's slightly different. Even that could be part of the enum because all of them have like this power function. So I could do that. Music,
but in terms of like the Bluetooth side, like those are all separate Bluetooth commands kind of thing. Like,
but you could very easily put this into like, instead of like I coded this up with head right async and it should have just been head async.
Yeah. And then put it the direction.
Exactly. So a lot of things we could have optimized here because the more functions you have, the more context you have.
Yeah.
So AI starts to get a little slower.
I mean, this is a good example of like the kind of thing that AI is going to produce, right? Where you now might be like, listen, I want you to shape it more like this, and it'll correct when you do that, but you still have to.
It does.
You still have to be there.
It does and it doesn't. Okay,
Guide
so
it.
let's go into our Disney bots here and see what's going on. So I'm going to bring up Claude. Hopefully he's going to run all right today. So I figured the next thing we could do, and I don't know how this is going to work. So we're going to let this cook in the background. I'm not going to optimize this for now because it's on the Mac. So there's lots of memory. There's not going to be any. Look at this. What's going on? One failed MCP. So we're going to find out what happens. I think it updated or something because that's all right. Here we go. So I thought, I don't know what the heck's going to happen here, but I want to see if we can make it see through the webcam. So we don't have anything like this. This is part of the other project is that we've been doing Mac OS, right? Mm-hmm. So this is a native, believe it or not, this is .NET MAUI running on Mac OS AppKit.
Yep.
Which is going, can I say that? It's going into MAUI Labs. It's not there yet.
There's a PR up. I just
see,
priorities. Haven't got there yet.
All right. So this was something. So John did the Linux end. I did the Mac OS, and then John got his OCD involved and really, really pummeled Mac OS into being beautiful.
Well, I needed it for sure, but
yeah, you got your native menu, everything. It's
Oh,
gorgeous.
yeah.
And this is the end result. So this to me is actually a very functional looking app. But we don't have camera. So we're going to see what happens. I have no idea what this is going to do. So let's try.
Do you have another webcam hooked up that it can use? Is it going to try and use
I have
yours?
no idea. It should be able to just pull on the shared image, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. We're going to find out. The problem with this software that we use too is that I can't put multiple cameras on it yet. So that's something.
But I meant in terms of, so like what are you trying to achieve with the webcam? You're trying to have it like interpret what you want to send to tell the bot to do, or
yeah, I wanted to use the camera to see the droid as if it was an eye.
Okay.
So if I tell it come at me and it can see me on the camera.
Okay. Yeah.
So we have to give it eyes. I want to use a native webcam through our app. There is no drive. You have to create this. You have to create the driver. macOS app kit. And then we want the I don't even know if this is going to work, but we're going to try. And then we're going to use this in the drive. We'll let that cook. This is a pretty stupid prompt, to be honest, but it's a good start.
Comes up with.
And at this point, anyways, like I said, it's dancing, it talks, it's like, go away. I don't even know what it'll do.
Oh no.
There he goes.
I mean, listen, you asked it to.
That was amazing. Yeah, I'll have to fix him up a little bit later.
Yeah, hopefully it didn't do.
But he did go away.
Yeah,
he's still connected. So that was fun. That made my day. Hello, is he still online?
Are you still alive?
Yeah, he's still working. Still work. Oh, yeah, he's still going. So we're good.
All right.
Not broken.
So what are you like? You've got Copilot. So how are you translating your messages into like some action, I guess, or like how does it?
So let's go back.
What's your prompt look like? I guess.
Let's go back to our chat view model, and I think the prompt is in here. No, I think we ended up putting it elsewhere.
Is it in
so this gets the droid, hooks up the tools, and then it's got all the chat, and it pushes it through. So it created this chat service, I think, to keep context. So let's go see.
And so it's basically you got some kind of prompt there.
There we go. So you're an onboard AI for Disney Droid Disney Droid Depot Droid. You're connected to a physical droid over Bluetooth LE and can control the droid with its tools. We saw the tools it has here that we're hooking up, we're wiring back through. If the user asks you to move, make a noise, perform a physical action. Now, the motor, 800 milliseconds is quite a long run. That's why he drove right off my table.
Oh, yeah.
The motor power too that was pretty high. Like he didn't just kind of move off the table. He kind of ran right off. If you saw it,
did tell it to go away. I mean,
I know it was awesome. That was awesome. That was,
Yeah. So the use sounds for emotions and stuff. It's just it's kind of fun to see how like the communication gets interpreted in terms of the translation to the tool that's being called.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, it was pretty awesome. So we'll see what comes up with our prompt today. I don't think this is going to go too well. Where is it going here? So it is actually almost done. We're going to let that cook, because in the meantime, I'm going to let you take over because you had some stuff to show this.
Yeah. Okay. Let's put the other one up on the screen.
Also,
Okay,
just to give you a little bit of motivation, I am drinking Kona coffee with caramel in it today.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
So last week we talked about Maui DevFlow, and I was kind of frustrated that we didn't have it yet in a state that was easy to set up, right? And there's like a bunch of different confusing, competing places to get it from and versions and stuff. So the quick highlight here is really just you can now pretty much just run these two commands, and you do your DevFlow init. So I've already installed the tool. So if I do Maui DevFlow init, this is an empty folder. There's nothing in here yet, but it should basically go look for, so it installs the skills, and then it kind of gives you like the use this next in your prompt. Like I don't have a project yet even, but if I did, I could help set it up. And then it's using the skills to go figure out what it should do for like NuGet packages and modifying your Maui program or whatever to add the right builder stuff. So it's much cleaner than it was. And the skills are now versioned alongside the tool. And so it'll go figure out, do I need to update the ones in your folder because you've got old ones still? It'll even, I think I have it looking for like the legacy old skills, and it'll be like, hey, these are for old DevFlow. Can I delete them? Or it might even just delete them on you.
Not yet.
So yeah.
At least unless you updated it since yesterday. I had to blow away an old skill that I had.
Okay, maybe it didn't find it or something like that too. Yeah. But really just kind of simple. It's there, and then you basically could just copy and paste your prompt and open whatever your tool is, and then start going, building your stuff. So I'm happier with where that's at. We'll keep improving it. Like I think one of the things I want to do is make it updatable by itself. Like go the Aspire CLI route. You install the thing, and then you could just do, Maui update, and it would go find the latest version and stop dealing with like the .NET global tool stuff and everything. So we'll see.
Not that the global tool stuff is bad. It works.
No. And we'll still build it as a global tool and everything. But I think like the goal also is to AOT this tool so that it's super fast. Like it's not quite there yet. I think we have to do a little bit more auditing to be able to build it like that, and then you get your like platform, architecture builds and everything, and then it'll go good. So
is that going to work with the stuff I've been submitting lately? Stuff I've been submitting. Stuff.
So the CLI itself is the thing that I want to be AOT.
Oh, you want that to be AOT?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like the spec contracts and stuff. Anywhere there's JSON there, we have to, do the right thing. But other than that, like it should mostly be able to do that. It should work. So that's DevFlow. That's updated. I don't know if you want to go back to your thing, if you want to keep going to show some other stuff.
Yeah, let's. So this was a busy week for me. Let's pull up. So also the droid thing is cooked, but we're going to come back to that because there is lots of stuff. Where's mine? Show this on stream. All right. So this week I did a couple things. Let me pull up my window. So the first one was, and I'm going to show the actual project was getting. So this was actually your idea, John. This is all your fault.
No, it's not my idea. It was Matthew's idea.
Yes, but you were the one that was like, yeah, you got to get AI hooked up to that in an AI tool. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. So, and yes, you're right. It was Matthew. You pointed me at the repo that Matthew was working on. And then I was like, crap, I already have stuff that can do this. So my Maui shell library already does a bunch of code generation. It already has a bunch of attributes on it. And it was like, I can just put descriptions in those. Right. And those descriptions can lead to generating an AI tool that we can now feed into AI.
Yeah. So do you have an example of like a simple? Yeah. Okay.
Well, this one, obviously the documentation has a sample, but I'll actually show it because it's a little bit cooler to see.
Okay.
Let me bring up which one of these projects it is. Okay. So we have a Maui shell, and yes, I know the font should be big enough for you today, but complain if you want.
That's not, so,
It's not big enough. Well, the menu isn't. Give me a second here. So first things first, let's see the ugliness that it generates, right? Now, generated code doesn't always look pretty, but you can see it's generating routes. It's saying like, hey, this is the name of the page. This is the description of what the page does, which I'll show in a second. And then literally parameter by parameter, it's saying what each thing is for, right? So it's feeding the AI. In terms of the page itself, you can see that, right? The text is big
Yeah, I
enough.
mean, it's kind of small, to be honest.
All right, fine.
There you go.
There, size huge.
Better. No,
Okay.
it's good.
So we have our page name or a route. We have the description of what the route is, and then each parameter. So I basically got a contact form and a work order form. So let's take a look and see.
Okay. So are those parameters on the page route itself? Like I would fill those out to go to the page to have it pre-filled, or like.
So I'll show that in a second because there's a couple pieces here. So here's the first thing. This is my view model. So again, because my library works off the view model, not off the page per se.
Yep.
So we're not going to talk about too much about the library, more about what it's doing today. But so we map up our page. This is the AI description. Instead of having like another attribute that we'd have to use, you can put it in right here. And then there's obviously the physical parameters. So this is using MVVM toolkit, or community toolkit. And then it's still got the shell property, which is another thing I use to identify, hey, this is a strongly typed parameter. We want to use it. So create some methods for it. So it goes and turns us all now into something we can use for AI. Now, there was a couple things that I found as we did this, and I think Matthew ran into this too, but you know what better than I at the moment. The first is that AI is not going to request a tool up front, right? So I'm going to get down here. So here is where I'm putting in history, and you'll notice, okay, first thing is I injected this guy. So it's AI MAUI shell tools.
And to be clear here, just in case it's not obvious for anyone watching this, like the goal is to give your AI chat client the ability to like handle navigating around in your app, right?
And furthermore, to set values in your page.
Right.
So that's really what we're doing.
If I was to think about how I might do this in my app, I might have like almost like a floating action button that's global to my app, or like the Copilot button kind of thing, right? The AI button where I hit it, pops open the chat, and I could be like, I need to add this new contact to my list. And then, I would just type that in the chat, and then it would know how to be like, oh, I know the page for that, and look at these parameters. I'm going to navigate there for you and, fill stuff in, right? Is that the idea for what you're doing?
You're stealing my thunder. I'm going to show you.
Okay. Sorry.
It's going to be cool. So here is this AI tool that's also generated. And the reason I generate this is because we actually need four things. One is so this was John's idea, and this is a good one, or Matthew's idea, I don't know, is we want to have the ability to get routes. So like, what can I do? Which turns out this is kind of useless, but we'll get to that in a minute. And then the actual do the thing. So navigate to the page, pass the parameters, etc. So this endpoint right now is really not doing what I want it to do. I got to figure it out at some point. But so we're returning our generated routes for AI to consume. The problem is that AI won't go off and call a tool to initialize itself, right? So I want it to get the routes to start, but it's not doing that. So I'm generating this prompt instead. And I'm saying, hey, here's your available routes, route, contact page, There goes R2. He's going to show up now.
What if your prompt told it to go and use this tool to get the list of routes?
I couldn't get it to do it consistently.
Okay.
So I ended up going just like, I'll feed you a prompt. The prompt can be quite big, but it gets the job done. So really it ends up being this one function that it's like, here, this is how you navigate to a route in the application. Use the args based on the prompt, right? So it knows how to get to contact form page and what it's got to pass, right? And it knows how to get to work order page and what it's got to pass. Like the prompt is huge, so I'm not going to try and show it off. But there, again, used when the user reports something is broken, malfunctioning, blah, blah, blah. And then it goes in. Now, the cool part is that AI tends to give off just kind of either JSON blobs or dictionaries, right? So I wanted this to be strongly typed. I didn't want to have to parse that dictionary every time. So again, I know the route, I know the parameter, I know the type because I'm source generating it. So it does all that for you. So it's actually going, yeah, there's a name in the dictionary. Okay, I'm going to do that. There's a subject, et cetera. It's going to go through them. It'll even do it by type. So if there's like an enum, in this case, there's an enum, work order priority, it'll try and parse that out, stick that on the view model, and off we go. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm actually going to run this and see what happens. So let's bring up.
And you're using like a cloud model for this. You're not using the device model.
Oh, what am I using for this one? Oh, I'm using I did the GitHub Copilot for everything.
Okay, so like this is, yeah.
This one I've been running relatively recently, so the token should be good, but we'll see. So yeah, this was a good idea that you and or Matthew had.
It's Matthew's ideas. I'm not taking credit for any of his thinking.
Oh, okay, well. And sorry, Matthew, wasn't trying to steal your thunder. I just saw an opportunity for generating this because I already had it in the tool.
Well, and it's something that we've talked about a bit because I know Matthew was experimenting with navigation in particular. Like, so he's got the general, you can attribute types and services and stuff with things, and it'll generate the tool calls for you, kind of like what you're doing with the routes here. Where it might just be like you have a service that you want AI to be able to invoke, and not like you won't see the UI of the app change. It's just got access now to like some service, right?
Right.
So like that's handy to generate. But I know he was experimenting with navigation as well. The challenge, of course, is and why you have a Maui or a Shiny navigation library is because the default one doesn't really fit perfectly with that.
Yeah,
for several reasons.
So hopefully this starts up sometime soon.
I think it's interesting even just to be able to see like how different ideas of how to approach this, right? And maybe out of this eventually there's some common ground for how we want to stitch this all together. But you've got your stuff and it works inside of that. So,
and we've got a XAML discussion that you and I have started for how we do this in XAML, how we do this in Shell. So there might be some opportunities to share, or you guys take over, whatever that may be. What is going on here?
Where you wants to? It's thinking about it.
Okay, so while it's figuring out that, so obviously we started with AI routes. I'm going to show this in a second because it's going to do exactly what it is that you were talking about. I kind of went crazy, so I ended up doing this across 4 libraries. So this one obviously covers routing and like just filling out the page. So I can say, my toilet is broken, go to the route, figure it out, fill the form. So the user can actually verify their information visually before they submit it. And you don't have to go through the navigation of figuring out where's the work order form, where's the contact form. It'll just go to it. So
and that gives you, and then like if you build in, speech to text and stuff like that, this starts making your apps able to just be like really, I don't know, somebody maybe wants to navigate manually, but if like they're at a job and they're doing a work order thing and they're like, let me hit the button and talk to this thing because my hands are dirty or whatever too from what I'm doing, right? Like it can accelerate the whole usability of the app. Like I think that's where this gets interesting.
You're jumping ahead, man.
I don't know.
I don't even know why this isn't launching. Where are we launching? I'll just launch it manually. I don't know what the stupid thing's doing. I always have. Oh, see, now it's not even going to run. This is how demos go, man.
Oh yeah, it's always the way.
Okay, we'll let that figure out. So what I ended up doing, we're going to come back to the droid. So I'm going to leave him. That's the big one. So we're going to come back to that. So I ended up taking this. Now, I'm not going to show off the mediator because a lot of people don't know what a mediation pattern is, or they probably don't use it in their app. But it's an easy way of taking like an object, pushing it back into like code or service. So I ended up generating routes from that because it was pretty easy to do. So we might use that in Sherpa, right, John? That'll work in Sherpa.
Yeah.
I think this is going to go. There we go. I don't know what was going on there. Now that this is up, I'm going to run it. So we're back to our chat. So I'm going to open this. I'm your AI assistant. I love this one. I'm gonna put some negative text in here, but I did this the other night. The shitter is full. Famous line. And then I'm gonna give it like one of the enums, urgent. And let's see what happens. So
Look at that.
I love how it went. The toilet or waste tank is full and needs immediate attention. So usually if it'll forward word for word what you put, but because I was explicit,
Yeah.
it changed it. And I think that's amazing, right? It did like, I don't know. It got the right priority again, which is an enum, right? So we got low, medium, high, urgent. It kind of can even intelligently imply that because it knows the enum values. So if I went
Right.
like, I'm dying, it'll be like, that's pretty urgent.
Yeah.
I could have said at my house, which I'll go back and I'll show it just one more time.
I was gonna say, like, do you have a GPS tool, a function that it can be like,
No, because then you could absolutely do that. You got to figure out where do I stop being crazy with this?
oh
And
yeah, for sure. But like, if the next question was like trying to find a location, and it's like, oh, is this for like where you're currently located, right? And you could be like, yeah, and then it would just pick your location.
So we'll show that in a bigger app. I got a bigger app that's got that. So John is once again reading the future, reading
That's funny because I
contact me, Alan 647-111-2222. Let's see if this goes off where it needs to go off to. Here we go.
Yeah,
Alan,
sweet.
there's my phone number. I didn't leave a message. Contact me because you suck. Alan 111-222-3333.
Does it not have the history? I bet you it would have inferred.
I clear it. I clear it because the problem is that if you're not careful with how you're controlling context, so I wanted to make this nice and simple. User wants to be contacted and express dissatisfaction. Love it. And it even put subject feedback. I didn't even do that. All right.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. Oh, hang on, let's go back. So the reason I cleared context before or history, so I'm always taking the last message, is because it saw the full thing and it was like, oh, you must want a work order and a contact form.
Yeah.
So
and then it tries to navigate both.
Yeah.
You could probably do something with the prompt around the navigation, right? Like
you could, and I found it was just easier to say, you know what? Don't worry about it for now.
Yeah.
This is what we got. So that is the navigation tools, and it's stupid simple to get. It's stupid simple to set up, and it's all on the website. It's all documented. It's all scaled. There's a scale for it. So I'm going to go ahead and close this guy up.
But you are using, like you said, Copilot, right? So like you're not using the built-in thing. So the one, I think, caveat at this point to doing something like that in an app, like let's say, my first thought is like that would be awesome if Pool Math could like I would be in the app and be like, oh, I need to add these chemicals and whatever, and it would just start the form by itself. But I don't really want to pay for all my users' usage of cloud AI just yet.
So something I've been doing, because you and I have both been like, don't put a key into your app. Don't put a key.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So what I've started to do is, because we need AI in apps.
Mm-hmm.
If you use any type of blob storage, what you should be doing for blob storage is a SAS token, right? So when I log in, you can either give me a long SAS token that allows me to upload to my container or read images from my container, whatever the case may be. But the token is owned and it's got an expiry date on it. It's got a quota on it, right? So I'm kind of doing the same thing for AI tokens, right? So if you pay a subscription of, let's say, $20, and I want to make 2x profit on that, I can say, put $10 worth of AI tokens on this, assign a SAS token to it, and once you burn it, that's it. Too bad. Get lost. And if I see them abusing it, I can kill the token remotely, and I'm not sharing it. So it's kind of like what GitHub Copilot did here. Is I logged in, put in my key, and now anybody can use it with their own GitHub Copilot, as opposed to figuring out how to create a key.
Yeah. So I guess, yeah, I like that approach. Like then, if you have a user auth in your app already, then it's not even like somebody can go abuse it and like spam install the app and create accounts or whatever, right? It's very user based, quota based, all those things. And at the end of the day, like the worst thing that could happen is maybe somebody grabs a user's token somehow and burns their credits on them, and they're angry because they're out $10.
Right. So it's very easy to it's I don't want to say it's easy to set that up, but just think of
No,
that token.
I mean that is because like the alternative is there's really not a lot of great ways to handle not trying to leak stuff through to the client while still giving a lot of control on the client side without writing all sorts of server layers and shims and just really like declarative what can be done and what can't be done. Like, because that's the easiest, or not easiest, that's the most secure way, right? Is don't allow open-ended prompts, but maybe the client, sends something across and you have to try and like scope down what you're going to try and prompt with it. But then you can't do as much. So that's an interesting idea. I like it.
And I know you guys have been working on the Apple Intelligence stuff, and
Google, and that'll
the
get
Google
there
AI
eventually.
stuff sucks still. Very weak, very big pain in the ass to set up. So
and very
Apple
few devices support it.
Isn't really intelligent yet. It's kind of stupid. And yeah, obviously it's not supported on a vast majority of devices still. So it could come, it should come, but for now, that's what I'm doing. And right now the key is wiring in services to let AI do its thing. So again, I'm not going to go into mediator because a lot of people don't know what that is, but everybody knows what services are, right? I have DI. I want to hook my DI services up to a tool. Yeah, I could create that tool, but then I gotta create all the descriptions on the tool or the service. I gotta wrap it in an AI tool and do all this stuff. It's not really fun, right? It's kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So again,
and it's like duplicating layers of things, right? Like just like
which AI tools kind of are anyways, but they have a lot
for
of
sure. That's what I mean. But then you have to like manage the code file of the wrapper of all your stuff that is in a function, and it's just it gets tedious.
And so I did this for services as well, right? Except this time, mark it with a tool. This is just so I'm not scanning your entire code base.
Yeah.
Right? So you mark it with a tool, you have it on a service, and then you just say, here's a description of the service. Now, this is actually kind of useless. I think AI decided to generate this. You don't really need it on the service itself. You need it on the method, right? So
I think that's generally true. If it was like MCP stuff, like that becomes a bit different, but that's probably not so helpful. What's interesting, and I don't know if it's true anymore, but it was earlier days in models, was the name that you exposed the tool actually had an impact on how it was written in terms of the AI calling it more reliably or not. And specifically, it had a tendency to prefer Python naming conventions.
Which I've seen. I haven't needed to do that yet.
I expect models have gotten better and it's not a thing anymore. But like at one point, you would have been better served to actually expose it as get_weather or just that, right? Get_weather. Because I'm assuming you generate the name based on the method name.
Yeah, right now that's all it's doing. So here we've got our service though, right? So I've got this all whatever. It's marked up. We've got a date-time service because apparently, I don't know if people know this, but AI really doesn't know what date it is ever. Yeah. It's almost like the first prompt I put in is today is. Yeah. I don't know about you, but anything that I'm doing now, it's almost the first system tool I added.
It depends if date matters for it, sure. Yeah.
Which in a lot of things it does is like create a reminder for today.
Yeah, true.
To do this, and it's like, well, today was it's whatever the model was built, and half the time it's like, yeah, today is like 2025, whenever the model was built. And it's like, what?
Which makes sense, right? Like it doesn't. Unless like all the models build in some kind of implicit tool or something, or put it in the prompt themselves.
So now this tool is a little bit stupid. I wouldn't create a tool to do this. This is the sample. This is what it did. And even a calculator one, which you can do, AI can do this without a tool. That's not the point. This is to show off the sample.
Yeah.
So we've got those three tools. list out what they do. I go and iterate through them, list out what they do, get the chat going, ask it a question, add it to history, and then go and let it figure out how to use the tools, right? So I'll show off what's generated because it's very similar to what our AI routes did. Let's pull that up. And here is our generated AI tools. So here's our iCalculator service calculate async AI tool, whatever.
Rolls off the tongue.
And it goes in, it's generated like the parameters, right? And it puts up, where it is, here it is. It actually goes and generates the JSON schema without doing any reflection because I said this has to be AOT. Everything I do now is AOT. So it goes, oh, okay, you need this. Sure, no problem.
Yeah.
I'll source generate that as well. So then it can do, because like I said, some of these AI tools, it's like, here's a JSON blob.
Right.
Right. And then we go and fix that out. And then we end up calling the service. So here is the actual service call. We don't need to go through all of them, obviously, but there we've got, let's go back to our program, which is running. What's the date? There we go. It knows the date. What's the weather like today? Now the weather is obviously, it's the weather. Could you please, so it actually was smart and said, you know what? City is required for this. So I'm going to give it Toronto. When called our tool, I probably should have said debug point, but there we go. It's definitely not 20 degrees in Toronto today, by the way. It's more like 10, maybe 5. So that is that. That is that tool running. And the last one, let's close that up. The last one, I'm not showing mediator because nobody cares about mediation patterns right now. Where's the other one? I closed all these things, John. Why did I close all of them? So we had shell, we had mediator, we had extensions. What other one did I do? Maui shell, mediator, extensions. I did one other. Oh, document DB. This was a good one.
Oh, yeah.
I can't even remember all the stuff.
No, I know, right? That's half the battle anymore.
So this one is a little bit different. What this was, and I think that this still applies to Maui, was the ability to read. So if I've got a database, right, and I want to just expose it without writing like all these service methods to go and get it, I just want it exposed. Where is all of, I don't know what Ryder is doing, but it is having a panic attack.
Well, it's probably worried that it's not necessary anymore.
It's still very necessary, but like right now, I don't know what just happened. There's no files. So I'm going to try that again. What? Yeah. I'm going to give it a second and see if it actually loads the projects here. There we go. That was weird. So slightly different. This one is not source generating the services because we don't really need to. Because the way document DB works. So we're not going to go over document DB too much, other than it basically uses SQLite or whatever database provider there is. You give it JSON serialization context and it knows how to query the database strictly based on document type. What I wanted to do was I didn't want to give a blank, a kind of open, hey, go look at anything you want in the database and we'll figure it out. It's just, you're asking for pain. So what it does is we say, here's the tool. I want it to look at customers. So from our JSON context, which is source generated from system text JSON. Excuse me. I wanted to say what it can do. So I've said everything. I did give it blanket.
So that's like read write.
I could give so it's aggregate, all, count, insert, the whole 9 yards. So you could actually do like a count and a aggregate as an example. But we're just going to make it nice and easy. You can then give it a sample, like what does this thing do? So the description is customer records. And then you can even go down to the property. So like the order status. So here we've got an order. The property is the status. This is the order status: pending, shipped, delivered, or canceled. And then I can even say, this is the maximum page size you're allowed to request. So no more than that. And so just with those two tools, we're going to go ahead and run. So it creates some fictitious data. No big deal.
Mm-hmm.
There's some orders. It's creating up all the tools. This is using OpenAI as well. So this looks just like our last one. And it's pretty much identical because I actually said, go copy it from here and just use DocumentDB. So we'll run that. So this is your fault too, because this was your suggestion that you made last week. And then I was like, yeah, that's actually.
Well, to be clear, it wasn't a suggestion.
it was like a.
It was look at this. No.
Okay, well,
that was
like,
all.
Hey, that would be pretty cool if we could wire that up to AI. Yeah, that would be cool, wouldn't it? So it's gone and told me what all the things can do, like get customer by ID. So it actually figured all this out based on the prompt. Customer query. I can delete a customer. That might be bad. Well, let's see what happens.
Customers.
How many orders do we have? How many orders do we have? I'm actually going to get smart here in a second. There are 3 orders, which is right. I want to see how many orders and customers are in the system. There are 3 orders. Like, that's beautiful. You don't have to do anything. It just ran the query.
You just, it kind of gets the shape of it, and
let's
away you go.
Delete all the orders. Could you imagine? Delete all the orders.
It might. It depends if you have guardrails or not in there.
No, because I opened it up, right? I said you can do everything.
Right.
How many orders are there? Yeah, there's 0 orders in the system.
Yeah.
I don't have it wired up to debug, but you'd see the statements going through, right? So it'd be executing these against the database. So I wouldn't suggest doing that.
Yeah.
But well, it's there. I mean, the thing is that I could say, make this to do for later. And then you're like, oh yeah, I don't need it anymore. Delete it. Right. So you could still play with it. And again, the ability to wire it up to the database means I don't have to go and create all those CRUD methods in your service. Right. Yeah. I just have to. This is almost like OData. Have you ever used OData?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that, but a little more direct. It's like right on the data. So I thought this was pretty cool.
I mean, it's funny that, because you've built this, and the thing that you're going to do by this will be an actual suggestion. Although you suggested it first was to make it all work with Cosmos, because that's where my pool stuff is. So because like today I was just playing with wiring up that whole set of like I have an admin site, right, where we can go like look at users, reset passwords, like that kind of stuff. And look at, just to do some debugging, like how many pools do they have configured and that kind of thing. And now I stuck that all together in an AI chat with a bunch of tools and stuff. So, but the thing that I've done so far is given it only a read only access key, because I'm not letting it update or delete stuff just yet. But if I was going to, like, I wonder how. I mean, I guess it's just your prompt still. I wonder if there's anything you could bake into here that would help with guardrails beyond, like, because you have like the explicit configuration of stuff, obviously, which is, I guess, the starting point. But like for things like delete, like don't ever delete multiple things, right? Like that. So I started adding some guardrails to my prompt, even though I'm not using a key that it could do that with yet. If and when I do, I want it to be able to think about like, first of all, I can never delete anything, which you can do with your setup here. But for updates, I always want, every time there's an update, it has to have one of these filter constraints on it, like one of the columns, right? Either like the user ID or the document ID, so that nobody could accidentally go in and be like, delete every log. and thinking that it's for a user, but then it's like, okay, I deleted all, 700 million logs. You're welcome.
So one thing is we could tell it, I could tell it here to not do that, right? I could put that in because the user has full control of the prompt they use, right?
Right.
So down here, where did I make the chat here? No. So I could put that in my prompt right here as opposed to generating the stuff. So I could say, that's not even the chat. Where is the chat? I don't even think this has a prompt.
Put in like the system prompt or whatever. But
this one doesn't even have a.
That's still like, I kind of think of it like how I think of when I do like network devices. If the best thing you can do is to have a networking cable to a device. If you can't do that, Wi-Fi is okay. So it's kind of like that. Like the best thing you could do is like to have not AI-based rules around what operations and safety things you want in place. If you can't do that, then okay, fine. Maybe also, add prompting stuff around it.
Right. I'm going to give it another database. You know what I should have done is it didn't reseed it every time.
Oh yeah, give it a different name.
I deleted the database, and now I can't. Let's do that. So now I should be able to, because I didn't want to create random. I don't allow it to create the random orders, but let's see.
So if you have a max like page size to return, could you have like a max, deletes or a max, right? Like per query.
There you go. There you go. Look at you adding stuff. Guardrails to. I hear feature request.
Yeah. Well, that's what I started adding into my prompt was basically, if you're going to update records, one, you have to make sure that you show the user first the actual number of records that will be affected by their change, right? So if they like, oh, delete the logs, and then the user realize, like as an admin, I realize, oh crap, I meant like delete the logs between these dates. I get an opportunity to see like, oh, it's gonna, or I might not even think that at first, but I see, oh, it's gonna delete 1,000 logs. Like, whoa, I missed something. I messed up, right? I asked the wrong thing. So having an opportunity to kind of confirm before something happens. So like, I don't know if that maybe is another tool to generate or a function call to generate, perhaps.
I could probably do that by default anyways. Now, the important thing to know though is that I leave this as read only. So the only thing you can do is read data. You have to explicitly turn on the ability to read, write, delete you have to turn it all on. So I don't know if I would ever turn on delete, to be honest. But you're right. If we are going to turn on delete, we should prevent mass deletion. So that's not then like.
And then I don't know how you would work in like some kind of constraint in terms of like what. So like if I am going to allow a delete, maybe it's only like maybe there's a way to constrain it to say like delete on a per document ID basis, right? Or something even like
type.
that.
Well, type is controlled anyways, right? So you can't.
Right, type, but like, but maybe you could say like, delete operations must, specify the document identifier as part of the delete operation, for instance, or something like that. And then
you have to because the types here, you have to do that anyways, right?
I guess.
So, but you're right.
You don't have like a flat like execute query tool where it would be like delete star from.
No, you can't do that.
Okay.
So thankfully, because you have to specify what you're actually giving the tool access to, the cool thing is because it's documents, you don't have to worry about the joins because it's all in the document. Yeah. So it makes it pretty easy to configure and then say what you're allowed to do. And like I said, deletes are off by default. You have to explicitly go and say, turn it on.
Yeah.
And obviously John, as he does, pointed out why you probably shouldn't do that because you can blow away all the orders pretty easily, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's always a news story every week of like some production service being just totally demolished because somebody let AI at it.
Well, and that's because they let it right at it, right? So how many other lines do we have? I want to see if it's actually smart enough to, if AI is actually smart enough to go in and count.
Go look at them, yeah.
How many order lines do we have? I don't know if it will.
Or if it's going to be like you have 3 orders. Yeah.
Like 3 order. What do we have?
Like an order is a line or something.
I don't know how many ended up creating. So we have customers. No, we have multiple lines. So it screwed that up. Oh no, there's 1 order line there. There's 2 there.
1, 2. Yeah. Still.
And there we go. There's another one there.
I mean, you could ask it across all of the orders or something like that. Maybe then it would be smarter.
I named Alice. Oh, like that. So buttons and stuff, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
So that is the things I wanted to show. Let's go back to our good old lovely droid, who still is working somehow. After I threw him on the floor a few minutes ago. I'm gonna go ahead and close this guy up. Oh, there was, to go back, actually, there was one other thing I wanted to show. So you were talking about speech to text and all that stuff. So about a year ago, what was that Mouse Must Eat you made?
Yep.
And so I ended up making up one for Wonderland because I go to Canada's Wonderland all the time and the ride times sucks in their app. So I bomb their I basically bombed their service going out. What's a ride time like? Tell me when it goes under this time, whatever. So I ended up creating this thing, which is this AI model, which I'll run in a second. And I did exactly that, right? So let me go back here. How did I do? This guy is mediated type. So I have AI handlers. So this brings in the route tooling. Sorry, that's the Maui Shell tools. This is bringing in some mediator stuff that we don't need to talk about too much. This is bringing in the speech to text and text to speech. So we can babble back and forth. And those, well, one of them's Maui, one of them's Maui Community Toolkit. And so we do exactly that. So when the user says like, hey, what's the ride time for whatever, I go in and I do that. So we bring up the page. First, I need online. You don't have online. You're not asking it anything.
Mm-hmm.
Then I go and request the permissions. And then I start going through this phase. Now, we won't worry about what it's doing here, but I'll say like, hey, what would you like to know? Then I tell it, we're listening now. I go in and I wait for it to give me something back. And then, so this is like, hey, I want to know the ride time for X. And it'll go in, it'll ask one of the tools, which I can show quickly. It puts the tools together because there's multiples, sets the chat rules. And then once I get a response back from AI, I read that back out to this guy, text to speech. And it basically spits out what the AI was going to say as opposed to a text readout. Let me see if this isn't going to run right now because I don't have the key set up, and I don't want to run Android because I don't feel like waiting 2 years. And I don't want to run on my device because I don't want to wait 2 years. I'm going to close this because now I've pissed off Ryder. Now it's really ticked off.
So you're using some cloud models to do the speech to text and text to speech and everything. Do they handle like the knowing when like the turn is complete, I guess, like especially in the speech to text?
The turn, sorry, what do you mean?
Well, like if I'm talking, how does it know that I'm done? Or like you have it so you have to press the button?
So you have to press the button to start the listening, and it'll say, hey, what do you want? I don't know if this is going to run or not, or what's going on here. I tell you, technical problems happen. But so the first thing you press the button, it starts running this command, right? So the command is, ask AI. That's what I've called it. Which does it. This is only to get it going. This is a mediator thing. And then we're into this task with no context, right? So I ask, hey, what would you like to know? And then we go in, I wait for the user to respond, and then it's got like a 2 second, if you're quiet for 2 seconds, then it assumes you're done talking, takes out that text, puts it into a chat message. Now, this is a one-to-one, right? Because the AI is more assistive than it is like something you're going to talk to. So it puts in that user message, runs the AI, which is going to in turn run all of the tools I have, figure out which one it needs to run, and return the text from it. And basically it's just raw, hey, here's the response text, which is a string, and speaks it out with text to speech, which is built into Maui. Uses like the platform model. Kind of sucks. They kind of sound like poop, but it gets the job done, right? So while we're going through that, the easy one is like, so I've got this get ride times. So this actually goes through, makes an HTTP request. Actually, this is the big one. We want the tool. Fast ride handler. So this goes through and figures out, is there a ride named that? If not, I don't know what that is. Otherwise, the ride is closed. And then it says, hey, there's like an X minute wait. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty useless. But it was just something, this app's kind of like the dumping ground for where I put new features of all the libraries I work on.
Yeah.
And the point is you can just talk to it without doing much work, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, like with a big enough place too, I don't know. It seems reasonably useful to, like, if you started building in something even like, can you tell me, what's the shortest wait times nearby me right now?
Yep.
Right. Like that kind of thing would be cool.
But again, you got to watch how many tools you create. So this one has like, when's the last time I rode Ghoster Coaster?
Yeah.
So I've got a bunch in here just because, right? Like hours of operation. What time is the park open tomorrow or today? And so it'll go through and it'll figure out the smart ways to answer that. Would I do it this? Probably not. I even have a nav route to the park, like show me the hours of operation, and it'll go nav to the screen.
Yeah.
So if I go into hours, there's my description, view the park hours for the upcoming week. Right. So again, it's all wired up. This one, I don't have a key set up. It's got a build in. So we'll see what it gives me, but. Come on now.
It's thinking about it.
Whenever you share screen, it's like AI and your computer knows. It's like it's hogging all the resources. So everything takes 10 times longer. I was watching the three guys on your team this morning they were showing off Maui DevFlow, and they were like, it's like AI's watching and everything goes stupid every time.
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously, there's nothing open at Wonderland, but this AI is stupid, or the API is stupid. It always returns some rides for whatever reason.
This app actually looks nice. You must have used AI to make it.
Ouch! Ouch! You're not wrong though.
I know I'm not.
I don't like AI.
I'm like, wow. I mean, it looks like AI built it, but like I find that's I find that's often a good thing. That's the same as like I don't know, a few things like Sherpa and stuff too, right? Like
at least my stuff is reactive, so it's showing even a countdown for how old the data is because that's what I do. But yes, I did not do the UI
it looks
or
good,
the colors. You jerk. That was terrible.
I mean, yeah, it is what it is.
So don't worry about this. This is because simulators don't like to show the emojis and stuff, but you click on this, it's going to crash here anyways and error out because there's nothing hooked up. And I don't even think you'll hear. Oh, it said something.
Oh, yeah.
So there is no key wired up. So that's fine.
Something went wrong.
Uh-oh, something went wrong. Right. So that's about what I expected, but at least it didn't crash.
Well, that's cool.
So that's pretty cool. That's some of the stuff you can do, right? Like just being like a lot of your users don't actually know how to use an app. And they're like, I just want to create a work order. I just want to tell them my shitter's full, and it figures it out. So this is a little bit more of a tit for tat. So I ask it like, show me the hours of operation or tell me the hours of operation. It's just going to do it. So many ways you can come at it. And I thought this was pretty badass. I'll put all the links for all this stuff in the show notes so people can take a look. Yeah,
it's pretty cool. I don't know. I have all sorts of ideas for building AI powered theme park apps. We'll have to chat about that one time.
For sure. Actually, this was your idea too, because when you told me you were making it for Disney, I was like,
yeah, but like there's all sorts of there's all sorts of cool stuff you could do that I would think might actually be meaningfully helpful if you're going to maybe I don't know about just like Wonderland, but to go to like the whole Disney world of many parks and places, there's all sorts of stuff you could add in here. Like,
to be fair, there's a configuration file, so you can set the ID of the park, and it'll go and figure out the coordinates. It's cool because I have GPS built into that as well, so it'll even find like what's the weather where I'm at, right? So
Yeah.
what's the weather at Wonderland like today? I didn't show that, but it'll go off and be like, yeah, the weather's looking pretty crappy. You might not want to go there today. So stuff like that. And that, because that was something you were saying earlier, was you could wire up GPS. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, I did. That app has it. I can ask the weather and it tells me the weather at the park, not where I am. Anyhow, let's see what we got here. I want to just end, unless you've got stuff you want to show.
No, we'll wait till next
Wired
week.
in our camera. I have no idea what this is going to do. And we will share the app. I'll share the link to this stuff too, so people can start playing with it if they want. Like I said, it's a Mac OS app with AI hooked up to it. I don't know if this is going to kick me off the camera or not, but we're going to find out. My droid is apparently still working, even though I sent him to the ground earlier pretty hard. Got to admit, that's got to be like a top 10 funny moment on the show.
That's I think if we can figure out how to clip that, that can be, our socials advertisement.
If we had like a speech to text there where I actually said go away and he drove off the edge, that would have been better, but I typed it and he went away. He went away so fast, he ran off the edge and blew up. So I don't think it's going to scan now because I think he turned off, but hang on. I'm going to go pick that up. Give me 1 second.
We'll see if the thing is discombobulated now. Oh, something came off. Something came off. Oh, I think it's just the part that's removable anyway, so it's probably not a big deal. Could be worse. Could be worse. There's no like the head didn't pop off and some of the other legs are there. We'll see if it turns on again too. You all can't see. I can see the behind the scenes stream of it, of him being put back together. So hopefully he still works.
All right.
He's
I didn't want to.
I was narrating the behind the scenes while you were fixing things. Looks like the damage wasn't too bad.
Well, his front foot popped off. That's all right.
Yeah, but like that,
he didn't remember my
on.
Stupid thing. 7. Yeah. F4. Something is wrong with GitHub's entry. I swear. The device code. Go and enter it, and it like jumps all over the place.
Oh, weird.
All right. I don't know what's about to happen, but let's see. What do you see? Oh, well, here we go.
It's trying something.
Looking around one moment.
Let me use my camera.
I don't know. I don't know. What do you see? Let's ask it again because it might have just.
Yeah.
Boo, still nothing. My camera's
I wonder if it's because it's in use, because like you're using it to stream, it might not be able to.
Well, we'll try. Well, I'll try it off stream, but that was fun. It coded something up and it did it. It only took about 5 minutes. Let's see what the burn was. So 5 minutes and 48 seconds it took to code up whatever it did. And this is again Mac OS thing. We didn't know it was going to work.
AV capture session, nice. Sweet.
I'll have to commit this to the Mac OS thing afterwards because I don't think we have the mediator or the media capture stuff in there yet, do we?
Yeah, I don't know if it is.
I don't remember if I added that or not. Anyhow, pretty cool. We got this guy working and my droid is still alive somehow, even though his front foot is kind of gimped. But I don't know. Pretty cool week. Lots of AI stuff.
Yeah, all sorts of AI, all the things as always. And next week, I think we'll probably have some more AI things to show. I got a couple things that are built by AI that we can show off or talk about, but yeah.
There's some big Sherpa things coming, isn't there?
Oh, that too. If we get there by next week, we can talk about them.
Yeah, we're going to do it.
Definitely.
Do it.
All right. Well, that'll do it, I think. Thanks, everyone. We'll see y'all next time. Thanks for watching.
Ciao for now.